Hollywood loves a comeback story, but it loves a disappearing act even more. One day, these stars were everywhere: red carpets, box offices, magazine covers, the whole glittery circus. Then suddenly,
Karen.
poof, gone benched, blacklisted, or just tired of pretending everything was fabulous. From Spider-Man fame to Twilight abs, Disney chaos, diva rumors, broken bodies, bad movies, and heartbreak. These are the celebrities who went from A-list heat to wait. Where did they go? Number 1. Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes was once Hollywood's teen comedy jackpot. She had the timing, the charm, the facial expressions of someone who could turn one awkward hallway scene into a national treasure. From She's the Man to Hairspray and Easy A, Amanda wasn't just acting, she was carrying early 2000s teen movies like Hollywood had handed her a backpack full of glitter and chaos. But then, at only 24 years old, she hit the brakes so hard, the entire industry probably spilled its latte. After watching herself in Easy A, Amanda said the experience changed the way she saw herself. While critics were praising her performance, she was sitting there thinking, nope, absolutely not. I am retiring. Imagine getting good reviews and still deciding the movie screen is your worst enemy. That is not a career crisis, that is a full Hollywood plot twist with mascara. Her struggle with appearance and self-image pushed her away from acting completely. And over the years, headlines about legal trouble and mental health made her comeback feel more uncertain. Still, fans have never really let go of her. Because Amanda Bynes was not just another teen star, she was the girl who made weird, funny, awkward, iconic, and chaos strangely lovable. So will she ever return? Nobody knows. But if Amanda walks back into Hollywood tomorrow, the internet might actually pause, scream, and immediately forgive the entire decade-long disappearance. Number 2. John Travolta. John Travolta was not just famous, he was the kind of famous that made Hollywood look like it had a disco ball for a heart. From dance floors to action scenes, from charming smiles to iconic comebacks, Travolta had already lived about 3 different superstar careers before most actors even found good lighting. At one point, the man was everywhere. If Hollywood needed cool, smooth, dramatic, or slightly mysterious, John Travolta was basically standing backstage saying, "Relax, I brought the leather jacket." But then slowly, the spotlight started moving. The big roles became quieter. The headlines got fewer. And fans began asking the classic Hollywood disappearance question. Wait, did he retire, or did the movie industry just forget to text him back? The truth, however, was far more emotional than any box office flop. After his wife lost her battle with cancer, Travolta stepped away from the glitter, the premieres, and the endless Hollywood circus to focus on something much bigger than fame: his children. Suddenly, being a movie star mattered a lot less than being a father. And honestly, that is the kind of plot twist Hollywood usually tries to sell for Oscar season, except this one was real. As a single dad, Travolta chose family over red carpets. No dramatic scandal exit. No screaming producer. No, "I'm done with this town" speech while throwing sunglasses into the ocean. Just a man who had already conquered Hollywood, deciding that his most important role was at home. And after decades in the industry, can anyone really blame him? The man danced, flew planes, dodged bad scripts, survived career highs and lows, and still somehow kept that legendary Travolta cool. If this is retirement, he did not disappear, he simply exited the stage with style. Number 3. Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz did not just walk into Hollywood, she practically kicked the door open, flashed that million-dollar smile, and made the early 2000s her personal playground. Charlie's Angels, Shrek romantic comedies, action hits, animated blockbusters. If there was a movie poster in that era, there was a very good chance Cameron Diaz was smiling on it, like she had just found out the paycheck cleared. For years, she was everywhere. Hollywood loved her because she could be glamorous, goofy, chaotic, charming, and somehow still look like she had never had a bad hair day in her life. She was the kind of star who could fight villains, voice a princess fall in love on screen, and make embarrassment look weirdly fashionable. But then the Hollywood machine started coughing. A few movies flopped. The big roles became less magical, and suddenly Cameron was not dominating the screen like before. And instead of desperately chasing another comeback, she did something that absolutely terrified Hollywood executives. She chose peace. Yes, peace. The one thing more dangerous to show business than bad reviews. After a 25-year acting career, Cameron officially stepped away from the big screen because she wanted time for herself. Not for scripts, not for press tours, not for pretending every interview question was fresh and exciting. Herself. She later built a quieter life as a wife, a mother, and even a wine entrepreneur. So did Cameron Diaz vanish? Not exactly. She just stopped letting Hollywood treat her calendar like a hostage situation. And honestly, after years of carrying movies, franchises, and ogre royalty, maybe Princess Fiona finally deserved a vacation. Number 4. Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler used to be Hollywood's favorite man-child, with a paycheck bigger than the joke budget. For years, he was the king of goofy voices, angry outbursts, weird friendships, and movies where someone definitely got hit in the face for no reason. From comedy hits to cult favorites, Sandler built an empire on one simple formula act: ridiculous. Wear basketball shorts, make millions. Honestly, not the worst business plan ever. But then the laughter started getting a little quieter. Critics began calling his newer films lazy, repetitive, and in some cases historically terrible, which is basically film critic language for please stop giving this man a tropical vacation and a camera crew. The problem was not that Adam forgot how to be funny. The problem was that audiences started feeling like they had already seen the same joke 12 times, possibly with Rob Schneider hiding somewhere in the background. As his fans grew older, his comedy did not always grow with them. The goofy guy routine that once felt fresh began to feel like leftovers reheated in a Netflix microwave. And while other actors reinvented themselves, Adam often stayed right inside his comfort zone, wearing it like a hoodie he refused to wash. On top of that, Sandler was never exactly chasing the spotlight off-screen. He avoided press, social media drama, and the endless Hollywood interview circus. Respectable, absolutely. Helpful for staying relevant. Not really. Eventually, the buzz around him faded. After decades in the business, Adam seemed tired of acting like acting was still fun. And maybe that is the real twist. Hollywood did not fully kick Adam Sandler out. He just looked at the machine, shrugged, and said, "Nah, I'm good." Number 5. Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser was once the kind of movie star Hollywood could throw into a desert, a jungle, a tomb, or a completely ridiculous adventure. And somehow he would still come out looking heroic, sweaty, and weirdly lovable. In the early 2000s, he was everywhere. The Mummy turned him into an action star. His charm made him impossible to dislike. And for a while, Brendan Fraser looked like the guy Hollywood had built specifically for popcorn movies and dramatic slow-motion running. But behind that fun blockbuster image, his real life was taking hits harder than any ancient Egyptian curse. Brendan did many of his own stunts, and over time, his body paid the bill like Hollywood had ordered the most expensive medical menu possible. He went through multiple surgeries and needed years to recover. Not months, years. At one point, his comeback was not about landing the next big role, it was about getting through the next round of pain. And then came an even darker chapter. Brendan later revealed that he had been assaulted during his time in the industry an experience that deeply affected him emotionally and changed the way he saw Hollywood. Suddenly, the spotlight did not feel glamorous anymore. It felt heavy, cold, maybe even dangerous. So while people wondered, where did Brendan Fraser go, the truth was not simple. He did not just vanish because of bad scripts or fading fame. He stepped back because his body was broken, his trust was damaged, and the industry that once celebrated him had also hurt him. Brendan Fraser's story is not just a Hollywood disappearance. It is the tale of a beloved star who survived. The machine disappeared from the red carpet and left fans hoping that one day the king of adventure would finally get his second act. Number 6. Mike Myers. Mike Myers was once Hollywood's comedy secret weapon. The guy who could put on fake teeth, a ridiculous wig, a questionable accent, and somehow turn it into box office gold. From Wayne's World to Austin Powers and the Shrek franchise, Mike did not just make people laugh, he built entire comedy kingdoms out of weird voices and pure chaos. At one point, if Hollywood needed something strange, loud, and strangely brilliant, Mike Myers was the man holding the wig box. But then the magic started getting messy. Behind the scenes, some former colleagues reportedly described him as difficult to work with, even calling him a diva on set. And let's be honest, when your whole brand is playing bizarre characters, being called too dramatic in real life is not exactly the kind of review you want printed on the poster. The bigger problem: the movies stopped hitting the same way. After years of comedy domination, Mike started appearing in projects that missed the mark badly. Some films flopped so hard you could almost hear the studio executives whispering, "Maybe Shrek should have stayed in the swamp." And then came legal trouble with Universal Studios over script issues, adding even more drama to a career already sliding downhill. Suddenly, the man who once made audiences scream, "Yeah, baby," was no longer Hollywood's safest bet. The jokes felt riskier, the roles became fewer, and the industry that once treated him like comedy royalty began quietly moving on. Mike Myers did not disappear because he lacked talent. He disappeared because in Hollywood, being funny is not enough forever. You also need the right projects, the right reputation, and preferably fewer lawsuits knocking at the door like an angry studio accountant. Number 7. Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl was once Hollywood's rom-com golden girl, the kind of actress who could walk into a scene, roll her eyes once, and somehow make millions of people say, "Yep, she's the moment." From Grey's Anatomy to major movie roles, Katherine looked like she had a first-class ticket to long-term stardom. She had beauty timing talent and that sharp, leading lady energy that made studios think, give her the script, the poster, and probably a very expensive coffee. But then the Hollywood fairy tale started catching fire backstage. According to the original story, Katherine's reputation began to turn toxic after people who worked with her reportedly called her difficult on set. Wardrobe problems, trailer delays, script complaints. Basically the kind of behind-the-scenes drama that makes producers age 5 years before lunch. Some even claimed she was rude to crew members and created tension during filming. And in Hollywood, talent can open the door, but a bad reputation can slam it shut so hard the Oscar shelf shakes. Then came the Grey's Anatomy drama. Katherine publicly criticized the writing of the show and wanted out of her contract, a move that did not exactly send thank you baskets around the writer's room. Later, when her movie career cooled down and she reportedly tried to return, the welcome mat was not waiting. That is the brutal Hollywood math: one hit can make you famous, but one reputation can follow you like a security guard with a clipboard. Katherine Heigl did not vanish because she could not act. She vanished because the industry started seeing her name and hearing alarm bells. In a town full of divas, drama, and egos wearing sunglasses indoors, Somehow, Catherine became the cautionary tale. Number 8. Taylor Lautner. Taylor Lautner did not just become famous, he was launched into pop culture, like Hollywood, strapped abs to a rocket, and fired it directly into teenage history. When Twilight exploded across the world, Taylor's role as Jacob Black turned him into an instant heartthrob. Suddenly, he was on posters, magazine covers, bedroom walls, and probably at least 3 million Team Jacob t-shirts. For a while, it looked like Hollywood had found its next big action romance superstar. But then the vampire werewolf circus packed up, and reality came walking in, wearing a very judgmental suit. Once Twilight ended, Taylor had a problem. Most actors fear the role that made him famous also trapped him. Everyone knew him as Jacob, not Taylor the actor, not Taylor the next leading man. Just Jacob the shirtless werewolf with emotional damage and suspiciously perfect hair. And Hollywood loves putting stars in boxes, especially if that box made billions of dollars. Taylor later admitted he felt restricted after the franchise. He wanted to try something new, to prove he could do more than brood in the woods and look intense near supernatural teenagers. But audiences and studios had already defined him by one massive role, and moving past it turned out to be harder than outrunning a vampire in skinny jeans. After that, the big movie offers slowed down. A few roles came and went, but nothing hit with the same force. He moved toward television and smaller projects, while fans kept asking, "Wait, where did Taylor Lautner go?" The answer is simple and brutal. Twilight made him huge, then left him standing outside Hollywood's door with a werewolf resume and no clear next chapter. Team Jacob won the posters, but Hollywood did not exactly give him the sequel. Number 9. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf had the kind of Hollywood rise that looked like it was built in a studio laboratory. He went from Disney Channel kid to blockbuster leading man, jumped straight into Transformers, and suddenly he was standing next to giant robots, explosions, and Megan Fox, like the universe had personally handed him a golden ticket. For a while, Shia looked unstoppable. Hollywood loves a young actor with talent, intensity, and just enough weird energy to make every interview feel like it might need a seatbelt. But then the plot started twisting so hard, even Optimus Prime would have asked for a break. According to the original story, Shia's off-screen behavior slowly became a bigger headline than his acting. The confidence turned into controversy. The artistic rebel image started looking less cool and more like a public relations department trapped in a burning building. Reports of legal issues, difficult behavior, and disturbing allegations began surrounding his name, making studios nervous about putting him at the center of major projects. And in Hollywood, being talented is great, but being a liability, that is where the red carpet quietly rolls itself back into storage. Even the Transformers franchise moved on without him replacing the face that once helped carry the series. That is a brutal industry message. When giant alien robots survive longer in Hollywood than your career momentum, something has gone seriously wrong. Still, Shia is complicated. Some people believe he could return. Others think the damage is too deep. He has the talent, no doubt. But Hollywood does not just ask, "Can you act?" It asks, "Can we ensure this production without everyone sweating through their designer jackets?" So Shia LaBeouf did not simply fade out. He turned his own comeback story into a cliffhanger, and nobody knows yet if the next scene is redemption or another explosion. Number 10. Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire did not just play Spider-Man, he became the blueprint. Before multiverse chaos, before Tom Holland needed 3 mentors and a therapy session, Tobey was the awkward, wide-eyed Peter Parker who made superhero movies feel human. He swung across New York, fought villains, cried dramatically, and somehow made audiences believe that a broke guy in red tights could save the world and still not afford rent. Iconic, absolutely. Career proof, not exactly. Because after the original Spider-Man trilogy ended, Tobey ran into the most dangerous villain in Hollywood, being too famous for one role. The final movie was considered the weakest of the trilogy, and instead of launching him into a bigger acting era, it left him trapped under the shadow of his own web shooters. Studios looked at him and saw Peter Parker. Fans looked at him and saw Peter Parker. Even his resume probably whispered, "With great power comes very limited casting options." It also did not help that Tobey was known for being extremely selective with roles. While some actors chase every script like it is the last slice of pizza at a party, Tobey seemed to say, no thanks to most of Hollywood. Add in reports of tension with co-stars like James Franco, plus his introverted personality and discomfort with the spotlight, and suddenly the once beloved Spider-Man was not exactly swinging from premiere to premiere. Eventually, Tobey shifted toward producing, hoping life behind the camera might fit him better. But even there, the results were mixed, and the box office did not exactly throw him a victory parade. Then came the reboots, Andrew Garfield, then Tom Holland, and Hollywood basically moved into a new Spider-Man apartment without asking Tobey to keep the keys. He may always be remembered as the original web-slinger, but after that era, his career never quite escaped the Spider's shadow. Number 11. Frankie Muniz. Frankie Muniz was once the kid Hollywood could not stop watching. As the face of Malcolm in the Middle, he was sarcastic, clever, chaotic, and somehow looked like he knew the Wi-Fi password to every family disaster in America. By the early 2000s, Frankie was not just a child star. He was a tiny television empire with Emmy and Golden Globe nominations following him around, like proud parents at a school play. But then, right when most young actors would be chasing bigger roles, bigger checks, and possibly a very questionable teen movie phase, Frankie looked at Hollywood and said, "Cool, but have you seen race cars?" At only 16, he became seriously interested in racing. Not celebrity go-karting, real racing. The kind where one bad turn can turn your day into an insurance nightmare. So instead of staying on red carpets, Frankie put acting on pause and chased speed. Honestly, leaving Hollywood for race cars is either extremely brave or exactly what happens when a child star gets too much adrenaline and not enough adult supervision. Then in 2009, his racing dream took a brutal hit after a crash left him with multiple injuries. That accident forced him away from racing, but by then, he also was not rushing back to the big screen. Hollywood had moved on, Frankie had changed, and the little boy from Malcolm in the Middle was no longer desperate to live inside the spotlight. These days, Frankie has focused more on family business and a quieter life with his wife. So did he disappear? Not really. He just traded sitcom chaos for real-life plot twists, and somehow becoming a race car driver after child stardom might be the most Frankie Muniz thing ever. Number 12. Kevin Jonas. Kevin Jonas was once part of the Disney machine at full blast. The hair, the guitars, the screaming fans, the matching brother energy so powerful, it could probably power a shopping mall. As one-third of the Jonas Brothers, Kevin helped turn a family band into a teen empire. Disney shows, tours, red carpets, magazine covers. If you were alive during that era, there was no escaping the Jonas wave. It was less a band and more a sparkly pop culture weather event. But then something strange happened. While Nick Jonas kept charging into music and acting like he had a secret deal with every entertainment industry on Earth, and Joe Jonas built his own lane with DNC, Kevin slowly became the brother. People started asking about, in confused whispers, wait, where did Kevin go? And the answer was shockingly normal, which in Hollywood is basically suspicious behavior. Kevin did not crash out in a scandal. He did not dramatically shave his head, fight a director, or release a mysterious 47-minute art film about fame. He simply grew up, got married, became a dad, and decided that being surrounded by diapers and real estate paperwork sounded better than being trapped forever in the Disney spotlight. Instead of chasing more acting roles or trying to prove he could be the edgy Jonas, Kevin moved into business development and real estate. While Hollywood expected another fame-hungry comeback story, Kevin was somewhere probably checking property values and making dad jokes with elite confidence. So did Kevin Jonas disappear? Not exactly. He just took the least dramatic exit possible from one of the most dramatic industries in the world. And honestly, leaving Disney stardom to become a family man and businessman might be the most unexpectedly gangster move of all. Number 13. Michael Schofling. Michael Schofling was the kind of 80s heartthrob who could walk into a movie, say very little, look painfully handsome, and still make half the audience forget how breathing works. After 16 Candles, he became one of those faces Hollywood seemed ready to turn into the next big leading man. The charm was there. The looks were there. The teen idol electricity was there. Basically, the man had the full poster on your bedroom wall package. But then Hollywood did what Hollywood does best. It made everything complicated. After his breakout role, Michael appeared in a handful of other movies, but the magic never exploded the same way. The roles became limited. The opportunities were not exactly rolling in like a red carpet parade. And instead of begging the industry to please love him again, Michael looked around and decided, "You know what? I'm bored." And just like that, he quit. No giant scandal. No dramatic meltdown. No leaked tape of him yelling at a producer while holding a smoothie. He simply stopped enjoying the film industry and realized the Hollywood life was not for him. While other actors were fighting for attention, Michael quietly walked away from fame like it was an awkward party he never wanted to attend in the first place. After leaving acting, he became a carpenter and focused on his family. That is right, the teenage dream of the 80s traded movie sets for woodwork. One minute fans were swooning over him on screen. The next, he was probably measuring cabinets with more peace than most celebrities find in therapy. Michael Schofling did not disappear because Hollywood destroyed him. He disappeared because he chose a quieter life, and honestly, that might be the most shocking ending of all. Number 14. Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman was not the kind of actor who needed explosions, superhero suits, or a dramatic slow-motion entrance to own the screen. He just had to show up, stare at someone like he already knew their taxes were suspicious, and suddenly the whole movie belonged to him. From Bonnie and Clyde to decades of unforgettable roles, Hackman built the kind of career most actors would trade 3 agents and a beach house for. But after nearly a lifetime in Hollywood, the legendary actor finally reached the point where even fame started sounding exhausting. By the time his final role came around in 2004, Gene had already done what few stars ever managed to do: survive the industry without becoming a walking cautionary tale in sunglasses. Then came retirement. Not because Hollywood forgot him, not because audiences stopped caring, and definitely not because he ran out of talent. According to the original story, doctors advised him to avoid stress, and let's be honest, Hollywood is basically stress wearing expensive shoes. Long hours, pressure interviews, studio drama. It is not exactly a spa weekend with better lighting. So Hackman stepped away from acting and found a quieter second act as a writer of historical fiction. That is right, while some retired stars chase reality shows, Gene Hackman picked books. Classy, dangerous, very, I could still win an Oscar, but I'd rather write in peace. His exit was not a fall from grace. It was more like a master walking off stage before the spotlight could burn him out.